demonstration, I would say. Yeah, so today I'm gonna help you in using long list selector control in Windows Phone 8. So what is long list selector? So let's really quickly get down to the business. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you a snapshot of my Lumia. Alright, so if you see this phone and if you go to People's Hub, right, so you will see the contacts are part of a list, right? But this is not a normal list box kind of list, okay? It is like if you press this alphabet, you get the jump list. This is another list. This is called as jump list. Then I can go to K. Now I'll get all the contacts grouped by K, right? Now if you just look at the other things for some things, if you just go for H, right, you can jump to H, then again you can jump to B. So basically this is a jump list. Long list selector can be used as a jump list where you can group the list items by either by alphabets or by some other criteria, and you can browse through the specific part of the group, right? This obviously makes the navigation much easier, and also the fact that you can have big lists, big data, then it's impossible for a user to scroll down all the way to select his or her choice of item. So long list selector becomes handy. Long list selector was a part of toolkit, Windows Phone toolkit, when in the Windows Phone 7 actually. So it was not a part of built-in control, but now it's officially a part of your toolkit, sorry, your framework class library. So if you go to any XAML page and okay, it's taking a bit. So if you go to toolbox, you will find long list selector as a control actually. See, this is long list selector, a control is there, fine. So yeah, now it is the official control in Windows Phone 8 APIs. So what we're going to do is, probably what happens is when you want to use long list selector, the big issue that I have seen when I actually first learned is, because there is MVVM and because there are a lot of classes, you might find hard to learn this long list selector, right? When probably we are talking about grouped list or jump list basically, fine. But long list selector can also be used for normal flat list. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 different kind of long list selector today. First, long list selector for flat list like normal list, right? Then I'm going to demonstrate you long list selector for grouped list or jump list, as we can say, using alphabets, that ABCD kind of grouping. And then I'm going to demonstrate long list selector for jump list, but you will choose the headers, like jump headers, not ABCD, but whatever criteria you want to apply, fine. So let's get started. So long list selector for flat list is pretty easy. So what I've done here is this main page, okay, where I have 2 hyperlinks. One is for flat list and one is for jump list. Flat list I have a page and jump list also I have a page. In flat list page I have one more class here, player.cs. A player.cs is a very simple class. It has 3 properties I guess: number, name, position and photo. Photo is of type URI. So I have photos, images. So this is all about Chelsea Football Cup players. So of course my favorite team is Chelsea, so I will choose Chelsea. You can choose whatever you want to choose. Okay. So number implemented iNotify property change, not really required actually. For our demonstration it's not really required. So you can just write a class having 4 properties. That's it, and whatever you want, fine. So it's not required here actually. Data binding, it's okay, fine. So then we have players class having number, position. Position is like central midfield or right back, RB, left B, whatever. Then you have photo, which is of type URI, because we are going to need this URIs, right, from this images folder that I have in my Solution Explorer, right. Fine. So that's about it. Nothing big in player class. Now what I do is flat list demo. So in my main page I have two hyperlinks, flat list and jump list, and they will take you to the respective pages. So flat list demo is very simple. I'm gonna use here long list selector control for displaying a normal list, like not a jump list or not a grouped list, but a normal list. So very simple code. What I have done is, if you go to code behind here, in my class I have declared data member of type list, list of type player, because player is my class, right? And I have named it as, of course, Chelsea. The collection name is Chelsea. Initialize it here. I have added Chelsea players. So name, Peter Cech, position, photo URI will be images and check.png. So that is URI, and number, jersey number, basically that is 1. So I have initialized them. How many I have initialized? I have quite a few actually. 3, 3, 6 and 3, 9 and 3, 12, whatever, 11, 12 I have initialized. And then I used I have set the data context of the page, data context of the XAML page to Chelsea, the collection. Alright, so binding is now pretty obvious. Then I again go to XAML flat list demo. If you can see here in my content panel, this is the code we are interested in basically. Don't worry, it seems like a long code, it's a pretty simple code. So I have taken a long list selector control and I have set the item source to binding. Fine. So whatever binding is for there for page, that will be your item source. Or what another way you could do is, you could actually use some name for this X name, and let's say my team, right? And then what you could do is, now that you have given it a name, okay, I'll just a second. Now that you have given it a name, what you can do is you can access this long list selector control in the code behind, and instead of setting the data context for the page, you can just say, okay, I'll just say, what was that? My team, right? My team dot item source equal to collection name Chelsea. Even this would have been the proper choice rather than setting the data context for the page, but I'll just keep it for now. Now again, let's come back to XAML. This is my, yeah, so I've made it blue basically because, yeah, that's Chelsea is the color. No, so blue is the color, Chelsea is the thing. Alright, so now let's get back to long list selector. So item source, either you set it here to binding or you just set it through code behind, you know, it's your choice. Now this is the background which I have made it linear gradient brush, which you could have just skipped altogether. It would have been black anyway, but I just used the background. I have not written this code. I have gone to this properties tab, and I have, of course, you know, went on to, yeah, if you go to background and properties, I have just, you know, decorated it from here. So you can very well do that, you know that, right? Then I am talking about list header. So what is list header basically is, you get a header over here somewhere. So I have this diagram from the book, so I can show you actually what list header is. Okay, just hold on a second, right? So if you can see this diagram basically, so it's very simple from here. So list header is this, right? Then you have this, the ABCD that we saw, that is group header. Then you have items, the list items here. Then you have group footer, which is really optional, a footer for this B. And then you have list footer, like list header, list footer. Fine. So let's come back to the code. Fine. So what we have now is list header I have kept. It's really again optional. So I have kept it as my Chelsea text, and that's it, nothing but it's just a text block, right? List header is nothing but text block. Then item template. Item template is very important. Here it's a data template. I have stack panel, and in the stack panel I have two text box where I am displaying one text box. I have done binding name, so I'm going to use name from that collection of players, and one is position, so right back, center back, and name. So text block, again two text blocks in the data template, and I have binded one to name and one to position. That's the end of my item template. And list footer, again I have some text, love Chelsea, that's it. And that's about it. Yeah, very simple. Binding to name and position to text box in item template, and setting the item source property of long list selector to the either to binding, or as I told you in the code behind, name it my team dot item source equal to collection. So very simple, and let's just run it very quickly. So I don't have emulators over here because this is, so I've got a real device, so we don't have to worry. So okay, we can go to the real device where, oh, deployment failed. Okay, just let me check. No, no Windows Phone was detected, which is strange actually. Oh yeah. Okay, so I'll quickly remove this and attach this. I hope to detect the Windows Phone. Anyway, I have actually installed this app altogether, so let's just see the demo because I already. So this is your flat list or jump list. I tap flat list, so you will see this list like this. You know, this is your list header. There are no group headers here because you know, we have not grouped it. This is a flat list, so you can see this players coming out and going, right? And last message is now love Chelsea, right? Fine. So that was your flat list. Now let's come back to code. So this was demonstrating the flat list using your long list selector. So you can always use long list selector for flat. This is a very similar to your list box basically. Now let's get to the real business. Using long list selector control to showcase jump list or grouped list, they are called as. So I have this second page. If you go to my main page, I have this jump list hyperlink and it takes me to jump list demo.xaml. Okay, so you will not see much in the UI here because everything is a template, right? And I have removed, if you see, I have removed this two, you know, this two text blocks, standard text box, right? So I kept the entire page UI open for my jump list, if you could say. Fine. So let's get on with the task. To begin with, basically you need, in this jump list demo, what we are going to do is we are going to group the players alphabetically on the basis of their names. So if you see player has properties like name, like Fernando Torres. So Fernando will be grouped in F. So is Frank Lampard, Frank F and Fernando F, right? So we are going to group them with their names, you know, alphabetically names, right? So what I'm going to do is I have this alpha key group class, alphabetical key group class. The name is like very random. The point here is this class, if you double click the logic of this class does what? This class groups the list items according to their alphabets or based on their name, based on the name property, right? So this class logic I don't want to explain actually, but then how do you write it? So basically this logic is you can get it from MSDN basically. So if you see the standard MSDN article about long list selector, it's a very nice article by the way. You just have to copy this alpha key group class contents, okay? If you have plenty of time at your disposal, you can actually read this code and understand the logic. But right now I don't want to drag this video to, you know, infinite length, so I will not explain you. What I feel is because the logic is generic, totally generic. It is, if you see, it is, you know, placeholder based logic. So it is totally generic logic. So wherever you need some, you want to create a jump list based on alphabets, you just use this logic. You just use this class as it is, alpha key group.cs. You take the content from MSDN or wherever and just use this, right? So there is this class. This class, purpose of this class is to group the list items according to their alphabets on specific property called as name, because this is a collection of players, right? So you just, this is generic logic, you just copy it from MSDN and create this class. Now your 50% job is done. Yeah, I'm not kidding, 50% job is done. Now what's next? So we go to this jump list demo.xaml, right? And we go to code behind first. Yeah, we actually go to code behind first. Okay, and if you can see, again I have taken a list of type player, named it Chelsea, and I started adding players. This time I added quite a few actually. Yeah, there is this Andre Schürrle, then they have Kevin De Bruyne, Marco Van Ginkel, so all the Mourinho signings are here. Fine. So then what I do is, this is important piece of logic. This is where you make use of that alpha key group class that we have borrowed from Microsoft, right? So what you are doing here is, I am creating a new collection data source, which is of type list of alpha key group player, right? So this collection is a collection, grouped collection. Basically it's a grouped collection. It's not a simple collection, but it's a grouped collection, and players will be grouped on the basis of their alphabets of their names. So this is create group method of that alpha key group class, where I have to pass the collection. So important parameter here is the first parameter to this create group method. I have to pass my collection, whatever I have created. Here I have created collection Chelsea. You can create whatever goddamn collection you want to create, pass it as a parameter, and in here one more parameter you need is player S, right? This is actually delegate. Okay, so return s dot name. You have to choose the property. You have to choose the property on which you have to alphabetically categorize them. So I have passed s dot name. S is a placeholder again of type player. Fine. So these are the only two changes you need to create in this code. This code again is available at MSDN, right? So you can just use it, and then set the, this is Chelsea. Okay, this capital Chelsea is basically my long list selector's name. If you see my long list selector, I have named it as capital Chelsea. Fine. So what I do is, I set the item source property of my long list selector to data source, this new grouped collection. Fine. So in this code, basically only change you have to make is, you have to pass your collection small Chelsea, this is my collection, and you have to set the property on which you want to group them alphabetically. Fine. And you have to set the item source of your long list selector. Now let's look at the long list selector itself element. Here I have a few resources which I have used. So first is your long list selector tag, then I have named it as capital Chelsea because I want to access it in the code behind. Then I have jump list style is an attribute attached property, where I have used a resource Chelsea jump list style. So if you look at this Chelsea jump list style, you will find it in phone application page.resources, Chelsea jump list style. Okay, so here it is, Chelsea jump list style, right? Target type is phone.longlist selector. Now I have used this, grid cell size. Basically, if you see this, grid, if I am, this is, we are talking about this style actually. If you, I can show you the app actually. If you go to public, yeah. So we are talking about this style right now. If I press this square, if you can see this IJKL MNOP squares, we are talking about a style of this jump list. So that's what we define by that resource. Alright, so let's go back to the code. Yeah, so here it is 113 by 113 square, layout mode grid, and then we set the item template where we have one border, one text block. Text block is bound to key of that, that alpha key group class, which is actually the first alphabet of your name. So this is the key you always have to specify. Text block, text equal to binding equal to key. Key is actually property of this alpha key group class. If you see, this is the property of this alpha key group class, because alpha key group will group your collection into alphabetical order, and then this key will hold that ABCD and everything. So that's why you, in your jump list style, you are binding that text block in your data template to key, right? Then font family and everything is very very simple. This is a very trivial code again, so you can get it from MSDN. Same page again, same page. You can put all the styles from here, right? And it's a generic code again. That's why you don't need to really change it again and again. Fine. So then you have background. I kept it transparent. I could have changed it to gradient or something, but I didn't do anything. Group header template, again a very simple thing. Group header template, so I guess I must have defined it. Chelsea group header template. Okay, so Chelsea group header template, there is this border and whatever design, but you can actually skip this also. But if you want, you can get that code from there. It's totally optional. Item template. This is important now. This is where you tweak a bit. How do you want to display the atom? So if you see, I'll show you my code actually, and my output actually, and then I will tell you how I accomplish that. So if you see, this is my application running jump list, and yeah, looks good, right? So now if you see here very properly, what is happening is yeah, so if you see Torres, this is your jump list thing, right? This is my image, this is my looks like a text block, this also looks like a text block and text block, but these are arranged in a way that they are all 1 2 3 4 are part of stack panel, but this is a part of one inside child stack panel. And if you see this, the font size of this 9 is less, Fernando Torres is more, and center forward is again less. So this is where we need to make some changes according to our requirements, or simply if you are not interested in any kind of designing, you can all you can do is simply put everything like text block, image, text block, and it will appear like 1 2 3 4 one after each other. Fine, but I just made few changes. So I'll quickly discuss this item template, right, where I use this static resource Chelsea item template, which I have defined in phone application page.resources. So this is your Chelsea item template. There's a stack panel, if you can see, vertical stack panel, inside which I have a text block. This is for creating gaps, actually gaps between the two entries. So text is blank. Then an image, which will show the image. I have set the maximum height and maximum width properties. I don't want images to go too far because it's a list, remember, right? Then there is one more stack panel. This is my horizontal stack panel. So I'm going to display that 9, Fernando Torres and CF, center forward, all in a horizontal manner, right? But then there is one more thing there, right? So there is text block, then there is space, so blank. So one text block I have binding to number, image I have binding to photo. These are properties of my player class, right? And then my text block binding to position, the center forward and everything. So you can arrange them as you can, and that's my item template, Chelsea item template, right? Very 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 simple thing. I'm gonna share the code so you can just see and you will just get it. It's that simple. Then there is layout mode, which is list. Is grouping enabled? This is very important property of your long list selector. If you want to create a jump list, grouping enabled has to be true. And if you see this flat list demo.xaml, grouping enabled should be false. Okay, if I could, by default I guess it's false, sorry. Yeah, by default it is false, so you don't have to mention it actually. Fine. So in order to create jump list, is grouping enabled equal to true? So it looks for that key and all those things. Hide empty groups, true. So what happens is, for not all the alphabets you will find players in your collection, right? I have only 15-16 players. So as soon as there is a group with no items in it, it will be grayed out. There will be grayed out. You cannot touch that. So that is hide empty groups equal to true. So very well then. Now the one more thing you can do is, you can have this long list selector, and if I go to properties, you will have events to that, like selection change, because it's a list. At the end of the day it's a list, so I guess selection change and events which you can handle. So it's a list. If somebody selects something, then user expects some action. My intention here was to demonstrate how to use long list selector easily. So I am not handled any selection change event, but you can always do that, right? You can specify here selection, I guess here, yeah, selection change. You can specify the event handler also, but let's not do that. Our intention is only to show it, right? So I just run this, and I guess my device should be able to play it for you. Deployment started, and okay, so we look good here. So let's try flat list, which looks like this, which I already shown you this, but and then all the players are there, and then you have I love Chelsea. Fine, I hope you love Chelsea too. And back, and jump list. Jump list has this all the players which are in my collection. They are arranged alphabetically. If you see this H and I and N, Q, these are grayed out because there are no players with this alphabets. There is no entries in these groups, so they are grayed out. And if I say K, this Kevin De Bruyne there again. Loan return. Lucas Piazon is on loan. This is out on loan. Marco and Ginkel, Oscar, and Czech and Lukaku. Then you Drogba, and everyone is there, right? Then you have multiple people by one. I guess John Terry and Juan Mata, and then you can just say J, and you can go to F, and Torres and Lampard, right? Fine. So that was that. Okay. And what I do, we come back to code, and now I'm going to demonstrate you third way. Now we use alpha key group logic from MSDN because all we wanted to do is categorized our entries according to alphabets based on their names, right? Name one of the properties of a player class. Now I want to show you a demonstration where if you see, okay, I'll just go to this. Okay, so what I've done here is, if you see, there's this class city.cs. So this city class is very simple. There are 4 properties: name, country, language, and flag. So city name, city country, city language, and the flag of perhaps the nation in which city is. For example, Mumbai, India, Marathi, and India's flag, right? So flag is a URI because I have taken images. So Australia, India, Italy, Portugal, Spain, and USA. Fine. So this appears to be a list of cities, which is okay. Now what we do next is we have group.cs. So I've made a class which is group of type T. So again a generic class, right? And it inherits from list generic, right? Then here it has a constructor. If you see, it has a property basically. So I'll get the property first. So it's really confusing. If it doesn't have any properties, how come it has a parameterized constructor? So it has a property called as title. This group, every group has a title, right? And it's auto property, auto implemented property. Then in the parameterized constructor of group, I have string name for that title and IEnumerable collection generic items which will initialize this list from which the base constructor basically. Fine. So very simple, very simple little class. Then I have, if I go to my main page.xaml, I'll go to first code behind, then I can always implement the logic design part of it. So here again what I have done is, in our method, by the way, my long list selector here is my address book. My address book is the name of my long list selector. Again I have set the item sys property, item source property. So prior to that I have written a method get city list, right? So get city list where I have created a collection of type city. I've added some cities: Milan, Rome, Madrid, Mumbai, Pune, Lisbon, Seattle, Melbourne, and New York. And all the countries, languages, and flags. Flags are here in my image folder, right? Now I've written this collection, return this collection city list. So this is my get city list. This is my get city groups class. So get city groups class basically group method actually. Get city group method. This method returns a list of groups. List of groups. So I'm gonna group my list into group based on country. Based on country. So I've called this get item groups method, where I've passed my collection city list and I've passed my c.country attribute, because I want to group my list based on country. So this is that get items group, which is very similar to your alpha, the method that we use, alpha key group. So very simple, simple link query is there, which can always get, and it returns that collection, which I again return to get city groups is called here. So now when I set the item source, this dot address book dot item source, this is set to this dot get city groups. So that grouped collection, see, list of group city, that grouped collection is assigned as a item source for my address book, right? So very small logic is there. A link query, very small logic is there. I'm sharing this code again so you can look at it. So here what I've done is, instead of categorizing my list alphabetically, I have categorized it based on my country, which is again a property in my collection. If you can see, this is my city class and country is the property based on which I have sorted. Rest, I guess, the XAML code I don't need to really explain it to you now. The same thing again. You can see this is my long list selector. I have named it as my address book. Then is grouping enabled equal to true, because we are trying to create jump list. Layout mode list, hide empty groups false. Hide empty groups as false, but I could have made it true. But we have seen true, so they grayed out. Here what happens is, when hide empty groups equal to false, the groups for which there are no entries, they are simply not shown. So in the earlier, if you see this jump list, and if I see this, there are this V, W, Q, U, N. These are the groups where there are no entries, so they are blacked out or they are grayed out. If that property of is set to false, which property we are talking about? We are talking about this property. Sorry, just a second. Hide empty groups equal to false. So what happens is, this Q, H, I, N are not shown at all. Fine. So let's come back to code. Fine. Then we have item template and group header template. These are all templates designed here in your phone resources, and they are set to binding to flag, name, language, whatever binding you need to appropriate text box, right? It's a very simple code. Again, I will be sharing this to you, so have a look. Very simple thing. So if I run this code now, again I'm telling, okay, so let's just run this. And let's all eyes set on our Lumia. Okay, what happened? Again some error. Port is already in used. Okay, so I guess I did not stop debugging the earlier ones. Okay, so let's get back to again. So yeah, this time it was pretty quick. Fine. So if you can see this city Melbourne, here I have used the group header also. Sorry, list header also. This cities header, right? This is list. Can you see that gray one? That is list header. And I guess list footer also will be there. So this is list footer, gray one. You can see the cities. First is Melbourne, which is grouped under Australia. Then there is Madrid, Spanish. Mumbai, Pune, there are two grouped under India. Milan, Roma under Italy. Then you have Lisbon. Then you have Seattle and New York under USA. So if I press this USA, I get all the list of the groups. And then I can go to Australia. I can go to USA. Because hiding property was set to false, the category groups which have no entries are not there at all. Right? So Espanol, Portugal, like that. So here, instead of doing it alphabetically, I have used the custom jump style. Fine, you could say. The logic is very simple, and the code which I am going to share will enable you that. So we used long list selector in 3 ways: to display flat list, to display alphabetically categorized lists, and to display categorized list based on a parameter which we provided. In our case, it was nation, country in our collection. So I'm gonna share the code snippets. Please have a look. It's a very simple and small code, and I'm very sure that if you can just make use of this code in whatever way you want, you can do whatever you want with long list selector. So it's a very useful, very unique, nice control, and I hope you use it often. So stay tuned for more tutorials on Windows Phone 8. Subscribe to me, or even if you like this, that will be good enough. Gracias.